First of all, new acquisition with Nico Boxall coming to the club. Can you tell me about what it was about him that you liked?
Yeah, we've looked at Nico a long time. For us, it was one of those moments where he was back in the country, which was great for us. It was easier to get him over the line. At the same time, we looked at him when he was back in Finland, I believe. And look, he's a Kiwi, which is very important to us that we've brought him back. And look, I think he's at a great age with a lot of experience, with the European experience, and he was in America as well. So for us, I think we need that depth in that back line.
All right, and then the centre-back positions, I see Scott Wooten is still unavailable. Can you give us an update on his progress?
So he's on the park at the moment, not training with the team. We're taking him to Sydney, because we're going to go straight to Tasmania from Sydney. So he'll train. Hopefully, we can get him with the group in Sydney.
And Costa Barbarouses ruled out this week as well. What's the situation with him?
So he's got a grade 1 hamstring from the Victory game. So he's looking like maybe a 3-week, 4-week injury for him at the moment. So I think it's a big loss for us.
All right, Macarthur this weekend. This feels like a big game. Is it a big game?
I think every game is a big game when you look at the table, the way it's set out at the moment. So every game is very important. I think we've got two teams that are coming off losses over the weekend. Obviously, Macarthur had a heavy loss against City. So for us, look, it's again, we need to go there and perform and try to win the game.
What have you taken out of the result against and the performance against Melbourne Victory?
I think we were collectively not good. I think at times when you have one or two players that aren't performing at their best, the team can carry them through the game. But I think collectively, I thought we weren't good, especially after we scored. I think this group needs to learn to handle expectation. I think that's one thing that we struggle with. I think, for 20 minutes, I thought we played well against Victory. I thought we dominated with the ball. We had some good moments. We scored a fantastic goal, and then after that, the expectation rose that we need to go and win the game. And that's something that I think we've struggled with this season. So I think the boys need to learn to handle the pressure of trying to be a top team. And that's something that we're working with them now, is also with the sports psych to find ways to, because it's not a execution thing when they go out on the park. I think it's more so a mindset thing.
Is that something that they've been open to looking at and improving upon?
Yeah, we've got a sports psych that works with the club. I think players individually go and see her at times. I don't get involved with that because I don't need to know what they want to talk about. Unless it becomes very detrimental to the individual or the group, then obviously we need to know. But at the same time, that's where they go and they feel safe and they can share what they need to do to perform at their best. For us, I think it's one of those moments we've got not a young squad, but quite a young squad that needs to learn to handle pressure. For me, pressure is what you put on yourself and the expectation that you have on yourself, and that's something that we need to learn and deal with.
Can you coach that? Can you coach that ability to deal with the pressure?
Yeah, look, that's why, Piney, when you ask me where we're going to finish, I always say top 6 because I know that players will listen to my interviews, where I try to, as a coach, you try to take the pressure off the players and then they just go out there and perform at their best without worrying about the results. So for me, it's, when we lead into a game, I always talk about the performance. And I believe that if we can play a certain way and a certain brand, that we can, 8 times out of 10, we'll get the outcome that we want and just focus on what they need to do, because I think if we start to just focus on the result, I think people act differently and change the way that they want to play and change the way that they think that they're going to get the outcome. So for us, again, I try to take that pressure off as a coach. I can deal with all the pressure, no problem whatsoever. I put it on my shoulders and take it away from the players, so as long as they can go out there and perform.
Macarthur is an interesting little period. They've obviously said goodbye to Dwight York as their coach. A heavy loss last weekend to Melbourne City. How do you assess the challenge that they'll present you?
Yeah, look, everyone's fighting very hard to get themselves in the top 6. We're coming towards the back end of the season now. It's very important for us to pick up points away from home. This month is going to be a massive month. This is our second game away from home, and then we've got another 2 more coming up. So, look, for them, they'll be hungry. The desire will be there. I don't think they have a bad squad. I think look at their front third. They've got a very good side with the attacking side of things. So, they've got a new coach that probably wants to prove himself at the same time. And for us, look, it's going to be a tough game. There's no easy game within the competition, but we'll go there prepared the way that we want to play and try to find solutions and try there to go win the game.
And you've got a couple of academy boys along with you on this trip. Obviously, it's a 2-match trip, so presumably an extended squad. Are you confident that guys like that, if required, can step in and do a job for you?
Well, we've got a few of the young boys currently training with the group. I think it's important for them to train with us at times to get exposed to the intensity with the senior players or with the senior group. So for us, look, we heavily rely on the academy. We've done that previously, and we have a lot of belief in our academy structure to produce players moving upwards towards the first team. So look, at the end of the day, sometimes you've got to throw them in the deep end, Piney, and see if they sink or swim, and sometimes they sink, and we've got to help them float back up to the top. So our job is to help them and develop them and guide them into the right ways so we can get the best out of them.